Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jason Tucker, and this is WPwatercooler.
My God.
Man, we are so stoked. Today's episode is episode 207. We're talking about the wish list for future versions of WordPress. Let's go around the room real quick and get everyone introduced. We're going to start with, I think that's George.
What is that?
What's happening?
Apparently it is me, the George Stefanis of Automattic, of Jetpack, and so forth and so on. I'm stealing Say's line and say, make WordPress, teach WordPress, preach WordPress, and I'll just...
You can't take my line. What is that? That's called appropriation. Of some sort. All right. But you do that, so that's good.
It's the sincerest form of flattery.
Totally.
That just means my tagline's catchy. What can I say?
Jason Cosper, how about you? Tell us about yourself.
Please.
Well, my name is Jason Cosper, as Jason Tucker said. I work at WP Engine as a developer advocate, and I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Good to have you. Miss Reed, how about you? How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm Say Reed. I'm the head code monkey at Jetpack. Do I drink the Kool-Aid? I don't know. I don't know what else you do, George.
You have green hair. You have green hair.
But I do make WordPress, teach WordPress, preach WordPress, love WordPress, say Read Media on all the things. Hit up George too. I can also never remember his Twitter handle. So just,
George upgraded from his AOL screen name, so no problem. How about you, Steve? How about you? Tell us about
I am Steve Zengit. I'm the founder of Zeek Interactive, and I run the OC WordPress meetup.
We started off with an AOL burn. I think that's a good sign.
There was an AOL burn?
Yeah.
That was me. I'm Jason
Jason's
Tucker.
flinging them.
I'm here with Jason Tucker on the Twitters, and I do some stuff over at JasonTucker.us and WPmedia.pro.
Hosted by Earthlink.
Hosted by Earthlink, yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about like the, our wish list for future versions of WordPress, the things that we would love to have baked into WordPress, not as plugins, not as a checkbox in Jetpack, but as something that would actually be built into WordPress. What do you guys think?
Okay, go. Well, I think this got started, came from a conversation where we were talking about, well, a few different things, but I'm also interested in us talking about some of the wish list things that have been on the actual wish list for 4.7, which I think are interesting, because there's sometimes things we don't think about in terms of wish listing.
Okay. Is there an official wish list that we can follow?
Yeah, there's a wish list page for all the different builds where each time the build is open, you can put all of your feature requests and cases for that, and then conversations happen on the different track tickets. There's a really interesting one happening now about the text editor in 4.7 and whether or not it should have underline, or if that should be removed, or if that should turn into a highlighter button, or and if the text color selector should be removed. So when we're talking about wish list items and what gets into core WordPress, I think it's really important to recognize the minute detail that stuff takes to get implemented into the core WordPress, like these kind of small changes in this incremental updating process. Not to bring
sure, some stuff is small. Some stuff is small technically, but there's a lot of bike shedding that goes on around it. Is this something we should do? How should we do it, and how should we prepare users for it? Or would it just cause more confusion? Other stuff is very complicated technically, like getting authentication methods working for the REST API, or getting two-factor authentication.
Wait, there's a REST API?
George stepped up.
Okay.
That's also on the
You can define REST API.
Yeah, do it.
No. That was on my wish list. Is a better authentication system for the REST API. Needs to happen. That's all. I'm out of here.
I don't know about the authentication system, but I do know the REST API keeps being up for, again, the real world's WordPress core. Not to say that we can't fantasize about what we'd like to have in there at some point, but in terms of what's actually, going to be in 4.7, etc. Anyway,
so are we talking about how to submit to the wish list, or are we talking about actual features we want on the wish list?
Let's talk about features we want. That's way more fun.
It is. I'd like to talk about the media uploader.
Yes, I
would love to talk about that.
I actually would love to talk about the media area.
Yes,
inside of WordPress.
The media area sounds like you're saying a euphemism for something.
No. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about my media area. I'm talking about the media area inside of WordPress.
Sure.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you want to do, Steve?
Hey, folders.
Oh my
gosh,
God.
folders.
or taxonomy.
Taxonomies, anything,
There
anything to be able to organize your media better inside of the media area, because it just gets dumped into one spot.
We talked about this on an episode of this thing we do.
The water cooler?
The water cooler at some previous time. And after that, I believe it was Norcross, maybe, tweeted me a link, which is a one-line function to add taxonomy to the media uploader, which I have not fully tested. I just haven't had an opportunity to do so. But it seems to me if that's a one-function add, that's the type of thing that should get into the real thing.
If I remember correctly, there was
something that wouldn't just overcomplicate things for most users.
I honestly don't think that would complicate things for anyone. I think everyone would be happy with that. But
I think the things that have been I've seen two different attempts or two different ways in which people have gone through adding taxonomies to the media library itself. Both of them didn't have the ability to be able to select everything or select a bunch of things, then go up to the top and then use a little drop-down menu to do like a mass edit of the taxonomies. But fortunately, if I remember correctly, this particular version or upcoming version added in that functionality to be able to mass edit all of those items that are in there. I have to look and find what I remember seeing it, and I was super excited to see that they actually made it so that you could customize that drop down to include other things than just, oh, swap this taxonomy for something else. Now it's actually a mass editor, just like you can do with posts.
I think whatever it is, my biggest frustration with the media area is that everything just gets dumped into one section, and it just becomes, if you've got a lot of attachments that you deal with, it becomes unwieldy very quickly.
I mean, and that's the reason that I always advocated using the post and page uploaders to do that, so it was attached. But now there's all sorts of things going on with attachments, so I don't even think that's relevant anymore because. Anyway, so this taxonomy that you just posted, though, I mean, this function is pretty great. Yep. So it adds the folder dropdown. That's the type of thing that I would love to see in core. Agreed.
Okay.
Well, I think the
Thank
thing is once you get, I think the thing is once you get a lot of content in there and you're using this stuff in tons of different places, including places that don't actually are deemed attached to a particular thing. So like not attached to a post, but maybe attached, or not attached, but being used in advanced custom fields. It stinks because it's like you can't really tell if you're actually using this thing or not. Is it safe to delete this thing or not? There's a lot of that kind of weirdness that happens in there where I've had my users come to me and just say, can I delete this file that's in here? Because we have 9 copies of it. And it's like, well,
let me just do a quick MySQL query.
So like a safety net type thing in there would be huge, because then you could at least delete this stuff and kind of clean up duplicates. What do you guys think of that?
Yes.
Yeah, there's also just I love that WordPress automatically generates all of the versions. It's one of my favorite things for users because now it's got all the different sizes they can easily use, and they're not just shrinking giant pictures, what they would do anyway, but it creates a mass amount also, not just in the media, but on the actual server. Now there's like, and if they upload an image twice, now there's like 8 images in there that are all the same name. So it's not even just the duplicates in the media library, it's the duplicates. Triplicates on the server. It's like brutal.
So what is your feature? I'm sorry. What's the idea there? You want it?
I'm just agreeing.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say
to say on that. I mean, I'd love it if when we uploaded files to WordPress, so WordPress would store the file hash. So if someone uploaded the image again, instead of uploading a second copy of it, it would just say, oh, hey, you uploaded this before. We're just going to ditch the new one and point you at the old one.
Yeah, or give you
Definitely.
the option, like,
It'd be cool if we use something like TinEye or Google Reverse Image Search or some open source variety of that. If you could do it in GD to like store image fingerprints, so you can see, oh, you've previously uploaded a higher resolution version of this same picture. Sure, you don't want to just use this one instead? Hint, hint.
And
Yeah.
then we would destroy all of the shared hosting plans that are out there with it, doing all that higher level, computing to make that happen.
But at the very base level, MD5 would be more than adequate to
totally.
detect two copies of the exact same image.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that would be a good core feature, though. That sounds like an awesome plugin where maybe a number of users could use it, but not necessarily everybody. But I definitely think, to some extent, to kind of touch on what Say was saying, like when you upload an image, it makes 8 copies of the image. All the different thumbnails, everything like that. You end up getting all of these files on kind of larger blogs, media sites, things like that. Once you start scaling up, you have some of these people who have 5,000, 10,000 posts, 8 thumbnails, 8 different sizes, versions, whatever, of a file. They start running into server resource issues. Because they have, a specific number of files under, their hosting account or whatever, that they can end up running into problems there. So something that kind of smartly handles those images, I think would be a big thing.
Yeah. Agreed.
It just seems like that entire media library just needs to be kind of reworked a little bit and just made to be something that a lot of us are really accustomed to doing, even if it was just tags and that was just kind of baked in. I know
a lot of it is that the media library, as it's written, the UI is not very customizable. A lot of it is just in one giant HTML template tag that's used by Backbone. And it's not like done in subviews or subcomponents or stuff where you can override a small part as it plugs together. If you want to change any bit, you need to like override the entire method, call the old method, and then after it renders, walk the DOM down, find the thing you want, then selectively replace that, which is a horrible way of doing it.
Yeah, so, it is.
So along the same vein about optimization and speed, I'd really like to see an overhaul of the post meta table, right? Everything in WordPress sort of gets dumped into this one table, and it's not indexed, right? And I don't know of a way to do it, but I would love to see an overhaul there because that does affect speed, especially when you've got lots of content.
What's not indexed?
The post meta table, the meta value.
Table?
The meta value field in post meta.
Well, value you wouldn't want index on. Key maybe, but building an index on meta value would be probably less efficient than actually querying against it all the time, depending on how your queries are balanced. Jason can talk better to this than I can.
There's lots of and I'm going to make an overgeneralizing statement, but there's lots of plugins that query against that meta value table, and that can bog fast.
Sure, and a lot of it is write your queries intelligently, and sure, maybe put a index on the meta key column,
George,
but values less so.
George, you and I write our queries properly, right? And we know how to do that. But there's lots of plugins, even popular plugins that are out there that don't do this, and this is pretty common. So I will now turn that over to Cosper, since you called him out.
To talk about post meta tables.
Fix the world, Cosper.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
You have 5 minutes.
Oh, well, okay. I have 5 minutes. That actually gives me a lot of time. I'll reroute the subnet to the.
You reroute the encryption.
Yeah, exactly.
Hack the Gibson.
Mm-hmm. All the things. Now, see, there are some instances where post-meta indexes can make a lot of sense in kind of a lesser lesser queries, not necessarily where you're looking for taxonomies necessarily, things like that. However, using indexes as kind of a catch-all can be rough. A lot of people who I just saw on an article the other day on WooCommerce optimization that was talking about running an index. The index that they wanted to run was a full text index across all posts, post meta, things like that. And they're like, oh, the queries are so fast. And they hold up this example. George is Xing, yeah.
I get it.
This example of a 100-item store that, oh, look at how like ridiculously fast. But again, once you get up to scale, and of course, anybody building a website at this point isn't necessarily building it for their 15 friends. Some people might be, but they want to build a business off that. They want to scale. They want to bring it up. At scale, a full text index, it can be pretty rough. It can make things fast in the short term, but in the long term, you start to lean on that stuff, and it just ends up becoming a crutch that ends up slowing down your site.
Totally get it. I'm not necessarily suggesting this is a solution. I'm just saying
of course.
there are some definite optimization opportunities inside of the schema, the default schema.
Sure.
You want to hear my wish list?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes.
No.
I wish that the theme repository displayed, and I think this is on the docket somewhere, but displayed a better homepage version of the site, so that you didn't have to install a theme in order to, not that you had to look at it on your theme, but that it was like just had a good homepage made by that theme instead of that stupid boat.
Yeah, better theme demos.
They don't
That's something
match.
that's actually-
The picture
it's
that's on the
actually
thumbnail.
being worked on.
I know. See, this is the thing. All of my things are being worked on. It's great. You guys are on it.
So we're getting rid of the boat. That's what's
How are
happening.
you? You have nothing to complain about.
All the boats are going away. All
I
right.
know. I'm so happy right now. No, I don't. There's things, but I mean, all my things roam around. Not around the core, but around getting the word out about core to people. So that's
But I think
it's a good tool.
I think what you're addressing actually is something that is not necessarily a WordPress core issue, but this happens in a lot of third-party themes, right? There isn't a consistent way to display a sample of what a theme is supposed to look like. So when you buy a Woo theme or an Elegant theme or an organic theme or any of the theme companies I buy from, they'll display you a site on their site for what it's going to look like, and then you install a theme and it just looks like a blank page, right? So there is no consistent way to display that dummy content.
I mean, there's I don't know about a consistent way to do it, but I mean, even some of those are you have to build with Visual Builder and all that
Right.
stuff. But a lot of them, you just have to go in and change that it's the static front page instead of a blog. So when you're viewing it in the theme repository, what you're looking at is the blogging page, which is if you're a business, which is important, looking through there, the problem is it's very confusing because you look at the picture of the thumbnail, which looks like, oh, this looks good. And then you look at the demo and you're like, that doesn't even make any sense. So you're forced to install all of them. And for users, the problem is you install everything and then they never get rid of them. And then there's just all these unupdated themes and they get used to ignoring notification updates. And it's just bad.
I actually really enjoy about the theme demos. The first run out of the box experience where it gives you the blog view, it doesn't give you the static front page view. It just sets you up right out of the gate for that disappointing experience of, oh, this thumbnail looks rad.
Here's 6 paragraphs of short code you
It
gotta
is
follow.
authentic. It's totally authentic. So to that end, that's fine.
Yeah, of course.
It's not being misleading.
I guess the thing
Not
is
at all.
like what would
That's
you
a
need
great
to
way to
do?
look at it. I love
Like, what
it.
would you need to do in order to fix that? Like, what would need to happen there? Because you would have to have something that would be dummy enough type content that somebody could still kind of move their mouse across
There's
things.
plenty
and
of
look at
dummy
stuff.
content. right? There's plenty of dummy content. Even if, and again, I don't know, I can't speak to the theme repository structure or any of that, but it seems to me that it could be as simple as, depending on how the theme is built, if it has a static front page template that activates when you select your static front page as home, designated front page, that could be displayed instead of the blog post. Like even something that simple that the theme creator could just toggle a button, be like, show static front page or show blog post. And that would remove so much confusion from that process. I just look at the theme repository a lot with people and they're like, what the hell is going on? And I have to explain to them it's not.
Well, what I can say is that is like the App Store on like on the iPhone, and especially, I mean, both on the iPhone as well as on Android, is looking at the screenshots that are there. You really still can't figure out like what this game is. Is it a bunch of cutscenes that they're showing, or are they actually showing what the what's the play like on that game? So I think it's really difficult for folks to figure out like what is the thing that is, if somebody's just going to see as one little thumbnail, what's this thing that you're really going to have to show them to sell them on the free thing that you made and put out on the internet for people to enjoy? I don't know. I'm not sure how to go about that.
So, what if you could replace the thumbnail with a video?
That'd be awesome.
What kind of video? Like a
just a sales video. It's a sales video.
But it's a free. Well,
then it's about who can make a better marketing video.
I know it's a free thing, but it's a marketing video.
Who can make a better marketing video? That's not the point here. The point is who can make a theme that works well out of the box for all of these users on there, you know? Like, I don't care if someone can make a great marketing video. I want someone who can make a theme that when someone selects static front page, the front page template comes up and I can customize it.
But could you imagine what the video would have to be like to show all 9,000 things that Aveda could do? That would just be nuts.
Hey, when are we going to do our Aveda show?
We'll make it happen.
We should. That'd be a good time.
But like, how would you describe that? Like, how would you? It's bad enough to get developers to just do the development work and build the site and design it and do all that stuff. But now you're asking them to also do videos of the thing as well.
I think that might be nice, but I think they should do that on the documentation and education side for sure, because there's definitely a lot of here's your theme, now have fun. So you know, some of the better themes do have a lot of great demos and walkthroughs and things like that, but I'm literally talking about the theme repository, though, because what we're talking about is what we want for WordPress core, right? So I don't know if the theme repository counts, but it's in the admin. So to me, it counts. It's part of the core user experience.
So say you actually get, you talked about having the theme experience of installing a theme in order to see what it looks like on the site. If there were an easy like delete button in the live preview, so you install it, you put it on your site, you see what it looks like, live preview, you don't like it, you delete it.
Maybe three buttons where it says, you know, activate, delete, or so keep active, or, you know, like keep, activate, or delete. You know what I mean? Right. Something like that, where it's like you can just decide right then if you know you're not going to keep it, because then the user doesn't have to make that decision again when they're looking at it, and then they have to activate again to be like, did I look at this theme? I don't know. You know, so something like that where it's like keep on to server, or, you know, I don't know. I don't know enough about that process for me to say, but that is on my wish list because I encounter that constantly with clients, and I know that is a block between them and using the themes that are in the theme repository because of the demo.
So I'm thinking, what if we had like WP content /themes/temp, and you could install themes on the fly to try out in the temp directory, but only if you chose to actually activate it does it move out of the temp directory into the actual theme directory. And then anything sitting in the temp directory after a while just gets purged.
Ooh, it's like a theme staging spot.
I like it.
Ooh, I like that. So the idea is that people would install them in order to actually try them out, and the focus would be more on the just trying out with your own content. Mm-hmm. And so that would be so to get rid of the keeping it on the server forever problem and really focus on the customization. I still think that the blog start page demo is a little... Yeah, well, that would definitely solve a problem. That's part of that. Where do we write that down? Are you going to make a track ticket? I have it on a Post-it. That'll do good things. All right. Anyway, What else, guys?
I'm actually pretty excited for the REST API when it manages to land. There is something out. Basically, there's a merge request or merge proposal out that Ryan McHugh worked on over the weekend, I believe. Looks good, looks solid. I'm not sure if they're gonna make it. I want them to make it. I want them to make it so freaking bad.
They have to make it, because if this thing doesn't get implemented, it's gonna get eclipsed quickly, and there people will be onto the new toy.
But by what?
Part of the thing is that with the REST API, everyone's been so focused on
Airtable.
managing content, whether it's managing your posts, your comments, your users, what have you. Excited about going into the REST API are managing plugins and managing themes, because as soon as you have API access to manage your plugins and themes, you could go to WordPress.com or Manage WP or Infinite WP or any of them, click a button to authenticate with your .org site, and then it'll automatically install their plugin and link it up for you. So then you can start doing anything and start playing around and having access, and everything can start talking to each other and install their own endpoints for managing your content or what need to.
Once you have that, then you can make zaps and ifs. You can make recipes to take your content and fling it out in all sorts of pieces, and people have so many new toys to play with and stuff to play with.
Oh, that's.
I'm much more excited about the infrastructure side of the REST API than I am the content side.
That's the quote of the show.
Oh.
Fling it out in all sorts of pieces.
That's what it is.
All the zaps.
Oh my god. All right.
I think you're right, though, so that's good. This thing, we're doing well.
We are doing well. Let's see. So
we don't want anything. We're just super content people.
well, I think for us it really comes down to the things that people bother us about the most are the things that we want to have fixed, which is why like that media, doing all this stuff within the media manager there, it's like that thing just needs to be, there's a lot of things that need to be added into that are just like a normal file system of being able to manage various things that are in there. Tag them and add them and move them around.
Picture this as why I'm super excited for the infrastructure stuff. You go to Gravity Forms to buy Gravity Forms. You go, you pay. After you're done, you click. They say, congratulations, you now own Gravity Forms. Would you like to install it? Yes. Click, enter your site URL. Boom. Go authenticate with your site, and they will automatically install it for you. You don't need to download the zip file and re-upload it. Same thing for buying a theme. It can automatically install it for you and keep tabs on it and keep it updated for you.
Yay.
Yes, please.
So does that mean that we could that you could lease a theme, and then if you don't pay, that they'll just take it back from you? Could that happen?
I hope not.
I would be.
I mean,
That could be fine. It's like repossessing your theme. That's great.
Happen, but
I'm going to say yes. You can call me the evil overlord. I'm going to say yes.
Or you can just
I think
revoke
that's a
their
great
access
idea.
and you can no longer
That'd be
delete it.
amazing.
I have a morbid curiosity to see who manages to implement that idea, that business plan for leasing themes. That would be pretty.
It's like a rent to own.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Theme Forest on that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Steve, you had something?
No, I'm good. I was raising my hand to volunteer for that person, to be the guy that leases the themes.
Nice.
You should lease the themes out to your people, and then they don't pay you, and you're like, it's like a maintenance contract with the
Wah, wah.
foreclosure clause. Wah, wah.
Actually, I want
Going
that.
away now.
I want that sound effect in core. I want. Who's the guy from The Simpsons that did that? Wah, wah.
The foreclosure clause is probably my least favorite Tim Allen movie. To be perfectly honest.
Is that like the sequel to the Santa Claus or something?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Yes. That's funny. Oh, hey.
That's about it, folks, for today. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Go over to our website at WPwatercooler.com. Click on the links there to subscribe. If you really enjoyed this, hit the little thumbs up button. If you didn't like it, hit thumbs up twice. It's awesome. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Oh.